welcome to HipHughes History. We're banging out the Federalist papers like it's nobody's business. 47, baby. So why don't you go hit the door of understanding, because she's a knocking. Alright guys, this is a pretty easy one to understand, but it's also easy to misunderstand. You're going to get this quote, and you can hear it right now. Look.
The accumulation of all powers, legislative, executive, and judicial, in the same hands, whether of one, a few, or many, and whether hereditary, self-appointed, or elective, may justly be pronounced the very definition of tyranny.
So you would think that this is really an argument that we're not doing that we have complete separation of powers. It's not. We're going to call it the Goldilocks thesis. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. So what Madison, and this is James Madison, of course, writing under the pseudonym Plubius. I don't know why he just didn't say his name, but what he's really arguing is that, look, if you go back and you read the French philosopher, the lawyer, Montesquieu, and that's his whole name. He's like Prince, it's just Montesquieu. Montesquieu writes that separation of powers isn't supposed to be absolute, that there's a little mixture of like oil and water. He points to the British system and the Constitution, where there's kind of a overlapping of powers between the monarchy and the legislative. So there's that Montesquieu argument that, look, we've done it right. You have to remember that the Federalist Papers are being written to convince the public that this Constitution's not going to take away your baby. It was the dingo that ate the baby. We're going to keep your liberty, and we're going to do that not by having absolute separation of powers, but having a balanced checks and balances. Madison goes on and he writes about the state constitutions, pointing out Pennsylvania. The legislative points the president of Pennsylvania, kind of the executive governor. So we've had overlapping in mainly all of the state constitutions. So what's the problem, baby, if I don't know, let's say the Senate has to ratify a treaty that's signed by the president, or the Senate approves Supreme Court justices picked by the president, or the president can veto a law passed by Congress. Checks and balances is kind of like the magic oil seed. I made a word up there that really kind of creates that balance, that you don't have absolute separation of powers, but nobody's got their hand in all three cookie jars at the same time. Remember, the main theme here is that this balance and the separation of powers is creating kind of an equilibrium between the three branches and liberty. So we're not going to have tyranny. So at the end of the day, the Constitution, Madison writes, has got the right formula for success. So you can go put that in your learning cap, guys. I don't think that we have to overtalk it, guys. Remember that he's writing that we have a balanced approach to separation of powers. In the spirit of Montesquieu, in the spirit of the state constitutions, we on it, gone, done it right. There you go, guys. There's the learning. We're going to do a whole bunch of thank yous. This is Tesla 2. Tesla 2 is the replacement of Tesla 1, of course, which suffered a horrible orange juice misfortune a few weeks ago. So we put a GoFundMe out and we raised thousands of dollars. And we've gotten this computer and we're back up and running. And I got like 1 million shout outs. I'm just going to do a couple right now. I'm a vegetarian, but I'm going to thank the Bacons. And that's kind of a local couple here in Western New York, Charles and Jennifer Weber, who graciously donated, more than $300 towards this entity. And I'm also going to thank the students of Lackawanna High School. Bonnie Benoit, you made a generous donation, and that's a local high school right outside of Buffalo. So I wanted to hit those two first, but I have like 1 million people to thank. So I have a whole bunch of videos that I want to do shout outs and different names, so we'll throw those at the end of the videos because we're going to keep paying it forward here, guys. So giddy up for the learning. Where attention goes, the energy flows. You best be subscribed, or I'm going to go send that dingo to eat your baby. All right, there we go, guys. We'll see you next time. Bang, 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 bang.